One thing I love about my name is meeting someone else with my name or any variation of it. Christina Flach is a celebrity makeup artist with her own segment on NBC San Francisco. She's a product creator, charity lover, and one of the loveliest women I've met. She's living every makeup artist's dream. Go listen to this week's episode and go take notes. Let's go. Are you a beauty or barber pro looking for that push to do that thing you've always wanted to do, whether it's in or out of the salon, spa, or shop? Are you tired of not feeling good enough, smart enough, skilled enough? Are you tired of not getting a handle on your mental health, boundaries, and insecurities? I'm Krystine Sherwood, the BeautyPro coach, an internationally certified coach, a salon and spa owner, and your personal Jiminy Cricket. I use my own experiences, good and bad, as a salon owner to help you be more self-aware, authentic, and forward-thinking in your approach to life, in and out of the salon. It's time to reach your version of success with the BeautyPro Coach podcast. So, hello, Miss Christina. How are you today?
I'm very well, Miss Krystine. How are you? Thanks for
Good.
having me.
Absolutely. So, where are you? Because it looks frigid. Let's just get to it.
I am in Sitka, Alaska.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, it's a little tad chilly here.
are you from
Yeah.
Alaska?
No, I'm
Okay.
here visiting my boyfriend who
I
came up
love
here
it.
for a couple months. Yeah, so we've been kind of commuting.
Girl, I
Yeah,
love
no.
it.
Talk about love, right?
Completely.
Yeah.
So-
There's no, just so we can clear up what Sitka, Alaska's like, there's no Whole Foods. There's no yoga, there's no Pilates, there's no Trader Joe's or Costco or a department store for that matter. So but it's beautiful.
Okay,
It's
so
incredibly beautiful, but it's pretty rural.
do you get like is there a grocery store? Like, let me get my thoughts
Yes.
together.
Yeah, get your thoughts together. So yes, there are supermarkets.
Okay.
It's unbelievably expensive. Like it's
Really?
okay, I live in normally in California, which is pretty pricey.
Yeah.
It's 3 times more expensive here than California. Like a thing of lettuce, like a big thing of power greens, it's
Yeah.
like $10.
Oh my God. Lord have
Like I
mercy.
don't know how they afford to live here because like it's really expensive. Well, I mean, it's an island up in middle of nowhere. Oh, and
There's
then
that.
like Amazon, like it's not like how you can be I don't where do
Yes.
you live?
I'm in Florida. So we are
Oh, okay. I was
literally like,
just there. I was just in Florida. I was just in Pinecrest near Miami.
oh, perfect. Beautiful.
Yeah,
Oh
where are you?
my. I am in like 45 minutes north of West Palm. So Port
What's your
St.
town?
Lucie. Port St. Lucie.
Oh, Port St. Lucie. Okay.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
Yeah, I
Oh
was
my
just there. I was
God.
finishing a TV show there. So yeah.
Okay, so tell everybody in case somebody's living under a rock somewhere, who is Christina Flack?
Christina Flach is a mother of 5. She is a celebrity makeup artist.
Love it.
She is a CEO. She's a philanthropist. She's a beauty expert on California Live NBC.
I love
And
it.
I think I said celebrity makeup artist. So
Yes,
yeah.
you did. Yes,
Yeah.
you
So
did,
yeah, those are
girl.
all my little titles.
I love it. So, if you can, just share with everybody, like, what made you decide to become a makeup artist?
I'm very visual and I love making things look like the best versions of themselves.
Mm.
And so it
Mhm.
just came super naturally to me. I started working on my friends and family, which segued into doing, people for like brides and proms, and then working with photographers. And then I miraculously got enough photos together to get an agent. And so I have 3 now. And I am very blessed to have, to work with all these extraordinary people and travel and do all these fun photo shoots. And it's just so interesting. I think one of the gifts with purchase of being a makeup artist is uh, having one-on-one time with people that you normally wouldn't, like a Condoleezza Rice or a Hilary Swank or a Rita Moreno. So that's the fun part. The part, and Tyler Florence has been my client for almost, 17 years. And so we just finished the Great Food Truck Race, which is in its 17th season on Food Network. We started in Houston, went all around the Gulf Coast, and ended up in Miami for our finale. So it's great. The part that people think, oh, you have such a fun, glamorous job. Yes, there are moments of fun and glamour, but the reality is I wake up very early sometimes, like at 4:40. Actually, a few days ago, I was working. I had 2 days with Bloomberg in San Francisco, and I had to wake up at 4:45 to be on set at 5:45. So it's, sometimes it's very long hours and very early hours. So it's not always, fun and glamour. We were in Houston and it was 26 degrees and we're shooting outside. So it's sometimes the elements play a factor into it, but there's a lot of fun. Like I was at the Super Bowl in Las Vegas last month, and that was great. I was working with Nickelodeon and it was super fun. I got to go down on the field for opening night. And, my client, she was one of the hosts for for the Super Bowl. So she was interviewing everybody, like all of the players. So that was fun and exciting and glamorous.
Absolutely.
So sometimes there is a lot of fun.
Absolutely. So since we're on this topic, let's just like nip it in the butt right now for any students who might be watching and they say, yes, I want to be a celebrity makeup artist, a celebrity hairstylist. I know you just kind of covered it, what it is like day to day, but what is like the one major piece of advice or trait that they need to have if they are going to decide to go down this celebrity route?
Well, first of all, you have to get a celebrity.
Exactly.
And that's not always so easy. And it's kind of like, they're not just dangling around like, oh, there's one, let me pick one. You get, the first one is the hardest. So once you get one, it's easier to get more. But I did 1 million photo shoots. I worked really hard, sometimes for no money at all, for trade of photographs, to get images for my portfolio with a photographer and a model and a stylist. So there was a lot of years of hard work, not making a lot of money, and putting in my time to learn how to be a makeup artist. You have to know when you're on a shoot, when to walk in and how to walk in. Like if your client is in front of the camera, you have to know, you have to keep an eye out to make sure they're not shiny, make sure their hair's in place, to make sure they're flawless. And you have to know, like say, okay, coming in and run in quickly, fix them up and get out. You have to know with your clients, for example, whether it's a model or a celebrity or whomever, you kind of have to read them very quickly. You have to figure out, okay, does this person want to talk? Do they want quiet? Do they want me to listen? Like you have to figure out what their needs are. Do they need a cup of tea? So that's a big thing. And you have to be able to work well with others. You have to work with a team. Even though like now I'm well known and I have great jobs, but nothing is beneath me. I will help the lighting guy. I will do whatever needs to be done because you're working with a team. And so you have to learn to do that. You also have to know it is not about you. I don't sit, I think I get hired a lot because I'm pretty much always in a good mood. I show up on time, I do my job, and I have no demands whatsoever. It's not about me, it's all about the client. And so you also have to listen to your client. I did a segment on California Live NBC where we did this thing called a beauty challenge, a beauty dare challenge. And what that was, so there's a lot of people out there that wear no makeup whatsoever. And then there's a lot of people that wear way too much. So what our beauty dare was whatever you're doing, do the opposite. So if you wear a ton of makeup, tone it down. If you wear hardly any, crack it up a couple notches and see how you feel. And it's so interesting. People are so, as you can imagine, really attached to their look. And they're like almost uncomfortable in front of a camera or out in public feeling different. And so I challenge people, hey, just see how you feel. It's just a day, or try it for a week and just see how you do. But kind of examine and reflect inside, like, how does this make you feel having so much less makeup on? We use it as a shield. And so, when I'm working with someone that's on TV, like a Maria Bartiromo, or, so one of these clients of mine, or Tyler Florence, I have to be really respectful of how they feel comfortable, because if they're not comfortable in front of the camera, they're going to be distracted and not be able to do their job. So even if I technically am doing something that I think would make them look better, if they're not comfortable with it, it's a disaster.
That is so good. Thank you for sharing that, because I was going to talk about ego, and it's so true. Like, it's not about us. It's all about them.
100%.
I always like to say, even like to my Instagram audience or my coaching clients or even my own staff, like, we wear black to keep the attention on our client. Like, it's not about us. Okay.
Exactly.
So thank you for that. So
yes.
Now let's dive a little personal. Okay. What did you overcome professionally or personally to get where you are today?
Well, I had a few things in my personal life that were very challenging. My son, Bo, passed away 17 years ago on Christmas Day. So that was a doozy. I went through a divorce after that. Doozy. I remarried and fell in love with Ken Flach, who was a professional, former #1 tennis player in the world. And he passed away after 8 years of marriage. In fact, tomorrow is 6 years that he's been gone. So that was incredibly challenging. What I considered to be my normal no longer existed in all these circumstances. So, when my son died, my husband died, the normal that I knew didn't exist. And so having to figure out your new normal was challenging, right? And, I remember after he died, my agent called to check on me, and she's like, "What can I do for you?" And I just said, "Get me on a shoot," because I'm always happy when I'm working. So I was convinced, this is how delusional I was. I was so convinced that as soon as I got on set, the sadness, the hurt, the yuck would go away. And I was convinced of it. So I'm driving to the shoot and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to get there. All this will go away. And when I got there, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so fucked up. And I didn't know it. And so I'm like, oh my God, what the hell am I doing here? My husband died 7 days ago. Like, people are looking at me like, are you off your rocker? I'm like, yeah, I think I am. So I had to create my new normal in all these new circumstances. So that's hard. So,
yeah.
But everything works out, and there's so many amazing blessings in life. And I love what I do, and it's fun. And, my clients are amazing. And, it's interesting, you brought up earlier, with ego and stuff. So like, if I go work for a Gucci or a Louis Vuitton, they give very clear direction as to how they want the makeup. And it's just like you said, you wear black because it's not about you. So with them, they want there to be, like, they don't care about my brilliant makeup artistry. They don't care at all. They just want it to be super, that the model to look very clean and fresh and dewy skin, but very minimal makeup. So that's an art in itself, making someone, look like the best version of themselves, but not looking made up. And so that's, because the direction is on the clothes. That's where the focal point needs to be on. Right. The fashion. It's got nothing to do with the model. The model is just a hanger.
Whoa, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, so what's a common myth you get a lot of times about what you do?
What is a common myth? That it's just, fun and games all the time. It's not. It's intense, and it's a lot of long hours, and it's working in situations that are not always pleasant. Sometimes it's funny, like with the Gucci Louis Vuitton, everyone thinks that it's like you go there and you're like shopping and it's super fun. They literally put me in a closet with terrible lighting, and they're like, all right, hurry up, you have 10 minutes. Get her flawless.
Like, yes, I will.
Yeah,
okay.
Sure. Yeah, I'm going to wave my little wand. And sometimes, what's hard sometimes, most of the models that I work with are so professional, and, you know, they come with, you know, really great skin, you know, with normal imperfections that you can correct. But I, you know, once in a while I will get a model that'll come in and her skin is so jacked up. Like I can't, like, that happened with Hillary Swank. She arrived with, she'd had a terrible breakout of acne. And I had to make it look like she didn't. So that's what's challenging sometimes. And, you know, we all make mistakes as a makeup artist. We can, like, you know, the eyeliner will, or they'll blink, or the mascara, and it blobs up. So I just have to, and I learned this from another makeup artist that she's Academy Award winning. And she taught me, she's like, zip it. Don't tell them you've made a mistake. They don't need to know. Get a Q-tip, clean it up, and move on from there. So, you know, there's little things that you learn along the way.
It's all about, I keep hearing it. I know I was trained in this way as far as business goes. Like, it's all about body language. Less is more. It's it's a psychology game of what we do, even though we are creating, you know, on the canvas. And I'm listening to you, and that's exactly what I keep hearing. It's all about body language.
You know, and being positive, because no one wants to be around anyone that's negative. So, you know, I have to keep my personal life, my emotions so separate. And I didn't realize what a good actress I actually could be, because sometimes in life, things are a little bumpy and difficult. You know, you've got people in your life that are a pain in the ass, and, you know, they mess with your head, and you have to just focus and just, okay, I am happy and all is well. And you just put a smile on your face and then sometimes you just don't say anything. You're like, I have nothing positive to say at the moment. I'm just going to say nothing. I'm going to let them talk.
Oh my God. So as you know, and as anybody listening, like, our job can be stressful because we do have to do all of that. Like, there's so much going on mentally. And so how do you nourish yourself when you are not doing a job?
So I'm really a firm believer in self-care. I think it's so important, because if you can't take care of anyone else if you're not taken care of. So if you're well rested and you've exercised, and, you know, you took care of all the things that make you feel good, you can be a much better version of yourself for everybody else. You can give more to people. And so I think it's really important to take the time, you know, getting enough rest, working out, eating well, all these things that make you feel good are going to make you able to make other people feel good and give more. So that's why even when I'm doing a TV show, I will make sure that I wake up extra early to go work out for half an hour or an hour and do some yoga, you know, because that makes me feel really good. And getting enough, I can't stress this enough with rest and sleep. People, you know, they call it beauty rest for a reason. And it really is the best thing for you. Is if you can get to bed early and feel really rested, you wake up and you feel good, or at least, you know, you have a much better chance of it than going to bed late and having to wake up early.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay.
You know,
so
and now I have a new challenge on, you know, if I'm on a TV show, my face, then I really have to, you know, I'm giving beauty advice on NBC. And I, you know, if I look like a disheveled mess, everyone's gonna be like, lady, take your advice. Right?
Yeah, that's totally true.
You look tired. I mean, everything that I preach, I have to do myself, or no one's going to believe me.
Best form of accountability right there.
Because some days, there's days that I have to pay myself extra to make myself not look like a tired hag. Like today.
Oh no, you look so cool. Like, you look so cozy, like, for real. No, you look good.
Thank you.
So when it comes to your present right now, like, what is a struggle or a challenge you're facing right now that is just driving you nuts?
Oh my gosh, there's so many things driving me nuts. But right now, no, I'm kidding. No, I think right now in my professional life, I you know, I've had a big struggle with getting funding for my new company. I've had people the investors coming in and stringing me along, and then they don't come through, and then we have to start all over. And then, so that's a challenge. It's a challenge trying to compete in the beauty industry with all these influencers and celebrities that have an endless supply of money. And they create a line, and they're very successful because they have enough money to pay influencers and to pay for marketing and all these different things. So that's a definite challenge for me.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, sometimes you just feel like, oh, can this just be a tad bit easier? You know,
Yeah.
but you just have to know. And that's why I think when you know, with people that are starting a business or, you know, becoming an entrepreneur, you have to love what you do so much that even these bumps in the road and challenges don't affect you because you're loving the process. You know, I loved when I started Pretty Girl. I loved, you know, I really thought that when I created my line over 20 years ago, I thought that I would be in stores and a gajillionaire in like 3 months. And that's not the reality. I worked with a beauty chemist for over a year trying to formulate the product, the colors, the packaging, everything. It took so much longer than I thought it would and much more money. However, I loved the process so much. I love what I do. I love being a makeup artist, but I also love creating new products. It's so much fun. And working with a chemist, it's so fascinating to me, the science behind these products and different ingredients. And I really love clean beauty. I like it to be, you know, I want products to be good for your skin and anti-aging and hydrating and all these beautiful, and, you know, obviously make someone look beautiful.
Right.
So, you know, that's all a fun part of it. So I think, you know, attitude is everything, and choosing to enjoy the process. If you don't enjoy the process, you will not succeed. I mean, that's just a fact. You're going to resent the time, the effort, the money, because it is a lot. So if you're enjoying it, you'll, like, even when you have a bumpy day, you'll be able to wake up in the morning and go, okay, it's a new day. We're going to start something great and move on. And I think having the balance of working on photo shoots and still having, you know, my products, it's a nice balance for me, because I stopped for a while doing photo shoots a few years ago. I'm like, oh, I just am going to run my business. And I'm like, oh my God, I didn't realize how much I missed the human contact. And I am an artist at heart. I didn't even realize it. I love making someone look, transforming them. It is, to me, like such a gift to myself. You know, it's such satisfaction. I'm sure you feel the same, of looking, you know, or seeing someone's face after and it's not even so much with the famous people, it's more like with normal people, making them look like they never even envisioned that they could look, and seeing their face when they look in the mirror and they're like, oh my gosh, like I didn't even know I could look like that. So that feels really good.
I love that. I love it. Okay, so
what's your favorite thing?
My favorite thing. I love seeing the transformation from the before and afters. It is such a high that is so like, wow. And like when the client doesn't meet you at that level, you're kind of like, wait, why not? What's wrong? Like, what's happening? You know what I mean? Like why aren't you as excited as I am?
I am.
You look amazing. Like, what is wrong with you?
You should be sending me flowers and jumping up and down.
Exactly. Like, what is happening? But tell everybody about Pretty Girl. That is your line, right? Is it available to purchase?
Yes, it is. Prettygirlmakeup.com. Yes.
Okay.
I started with a lip plumper and lip gloss, and I've had spa products and candles and scrubs and creams. And right now we just have it's just a lip line, because I'm working on a new company called I'm Too Busy. And so a skincare, makeup, and also a TV show that we're starting called I'm Too Busy. So I'm going to interview all my different friends and clients that I have that have these amazing careers. I'm going to beg them to be on my show and just say, here, I know you're too busy, but give me 5 minutes. And so, you know, think about it. How many times we all say, oh my God, I'm too busy to put on, take care of my skin and to do my makeup. Yeah. And so I had heard this for years from people. And then I was offered to buy and trademark I'm Too Busy. And I just thought, oh my gosh, that's totally my life. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. Yeah. And so I think, you know, skincare is such an interesting thing. It's all about consistency, I think. And so I know that people will spend a fortune on skincare, but then they don't do it because they're too tired or there's too many steps. And so I wanted to do a process that is hydrating, cleansing, and rejuvenating of the skin in 3 easy steps. And so that was an interesting process because the beauty chemist that I worked with had actually done the setting spray for Urban Decay that everyone uses. So I was so honored that he actually wanted to work with me. And he asked me, so what do you do in the morning first thing? And I said, splash my face with water. And he's like, no, wrong answer. And I'm like, okay, what? He goes, do you drink the water that you put on your face? And I'm like, God, no.
Right. Like,
and I'm like, no, it's all filtered. And he's like, okay, well, that's why we're going to put a cleanser and a moisturizer as a shield on your skin first. So we're doing a reverse cleansing. So we put that on first, then wash the face. And so it's not good because, you know, how often, think about it, that your face gets wet in the shower or whatever, and it feels tight and dry. Well, that's from all the yuck in the water. So if we put up a shield and protect it, it's going to be, you know, it's not going to be so drying and show fine lines and wrinkles.
Right. Oh, how exciting. Okay. When is this expected to debut?
Any minute.
I'm so excited.
It's happening soon. So as soon as I know, and for sure, I'm going to come back on and talk about it with you.
Yes, absolutely. I love it. I'm setting the date. So excited. Okay.
I
So
can't wait.
what is an insult that you have ever gotten that you are currently so proud of?
An insult
An
that I'm
insult.
proud of.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That I'm relentless.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm relentless in everything in life. I don't give up on anything or anyone. So sometimes that can be, some people might find that, you know, I find that, I think that's why I've had the successes I've had in my life with work, because I just keep, no matter what happens, I just keep going.
Amen. So
I have
what?
never been asked that question. That's
Well,
interesting.
oh, you are so welcome.
I'm
What?
like,
Yeah. So, you know, working in a service-based industry, we learn a lot, like we were talking before, like body language, psychology, timing, prudence, all of this stuff. So, what is a lesson that you have learned as a beauty professional that you wish everyone would pick up?
oh my gosh. Okay. Well, what comes to mind is that big black heavy eyeliner that someone's been, you know, wearing every day, and not changing it, you know, like it's not always appropriate for everyone or every skin tone. I think that's something, taking care of your skin, taking, you know, your mascara off every night, all these things, like, you know, I didn't really realize before when I started how important nutrition was, and hydration, and keeping your skin protected from the sun. I think all of that makes my job easier when someone takes good care of their skin and is a healthy human. If they're rested, if they're, you know, taking the hardest thing, as you know, is dealing with bad skin.
Yeah.
And so I can only do so. I'm not, you know, I make jokes that I'm a good witch with a wand and I can fix anything. But I mean, there's only so much I can literally do when someone has a ton of wrinkles or rosacea or acne. I can only do so much. I can only hide so much.
Yeah. Yeah. What is one area of your life, personal or professional, that no one agrees with you about?
Oh, that no, probably relationships that I'm in with people, with some people. Some people
Oh.
don't understand it. They're like, I don't get that. But I see
Oh,
things
that's a good
in
one.
people. I see things in people that not everyone sees.
Yeah.
I see beauty in people, and that's not always visible to everyone else.
Who are the 3 most influential people in your life?
Oh, um, let's see. My friend Diana Stobo.
Okay.
She inspires me every day. She is in the wellness industry, and Tyler Florence, he's a huge influence in my life. He has really taught me to be open to new things and to strive to get better and to do more things and not just be like, oh, I'm a makeup artist.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he has pushed me because I see what he does. It's not like he tells me anything. It's just what I watch of him. He is a celebrity chef on TV, but he has other businesses and he's open to different things. So that's been a really strong influence in my life. You know, and my children, I think I want them to see me, that I, you know, go for my dreams and that I work really hard and that you know, I'm open to new things and that I am kind and generous and treat everyone well. And I think I try to make the world a better place. I raise money for my charities, and all those things make me feel really good to help others.
Yeah. What do you want to be remembered for?
Oh my God, these questions of yours, girl. Wow.
I told you, real and raw, and raw.
How do I want to be remembered? I think I would like to be remembered as just someone with a big heart that worked really hard, that never gave up. And, you know, a lot of my, you know, my dreams have come true professionally and personally from not giving up and just keep, you know, trying to be better every day. If I could be 1% better every day, you know, I'd like to be remembered for that. And obviously for my work, I would love people to look back and think, wow, she had an amazing career.
Okay, so what are your charities? You mentioned them a couple times.
Oh,
what are they?
I have two educational funds set up at the Northern Lights School in Oakland, California, for underprivileged children. And then I also have at the Edna McGuire School, Mill Valley, California, there is a garden named after my son, Bo. And so it's Bo Friedman Outdoor Classroom and Garden. So I raise money and donate a lot of money for those charities. And then there's my friend Samantha has this amazing foundation called the Sparkle Foundation, and it helps mothers, single mothers and children go to camp and have amazing Christmases. So she's amazing. She inspires me. She's another one that inspires me.
I love this. And anybody can get involved, right?
Absolutely. I think it's important to find something. And I think, you know, setting an example for my kids, they see all the charity work that I do and they are involved as well. My son, Ben, who is Bo's twin, he's raised over $200,000 in the last 8 years for his brother's educational fund. And so he plays golf and he's raised all this money. And so he doesn't even realize all that he does to make the world a better place for these kids. You know, they're going to school. He just raised over $71,000 in October, and he acts like it's no big deal. He's like, hey, I had a day off from school and I ate all these cookies and it was fun. And I played golf and I met all these famous athletes. You know, he played, you know, golf with one guy and he had a Super Bowl ring on. He let Ben wear it. And so he thought that was like so great. And I'm like, sweetie, you raise enough money for 7 children to go to private school for a year. That changes lives and families and communities, trickling down to making the world a better place. So that makes me incredibly proud.
I love this. I'm like getting all like teary over here. Like,
no,
this is so great. Like I'm dying.
Oh my God, you're so cute.
Like we're gonna have links to all of these things, all of it in the show notes. All the things.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. It's so important. It's so important that, you know, we serve, but it's so good to get other people involved because we're giving. And when you give, you get so much more back.
Oh my gosh. I think that has helped so much in my life of helping others. It makes me feel so good. It's such a blessing to me to see people's lives change. I had a girl a few years ago named Ivory, and it was kind of like a pro bono. She was a teenager. She is a teenager, and she wanted to learn how to do her makeup, and she was kind of shy. And, I worked with her and I said, so what are your goals? What are your dreams? What do you want to do with your life? And she's like, I don't know. and as we chatted, as I did her makeup, I taught her how to, pick the right foundation and different ways to make her look great. She felt so great about herself. She applied to a study abroad program, and she called me 2 weeks later and she said, "Can I tell you something?" And I said, "Yeah, of course." What? She said, "You made me feel so good and confident from our session that I applied to this study abroad program, which I never would have done. And I got it. I'm going to Prague for 3 weeks to study art. And I'm going to do what you said and be everything I want to be." And I'm like, oh my God, I had no idea that our conversation had meant that much to her. Yeah. And so that just brought me so much joy. So we don't even realize that, we all think, oh, well, there's nothing I can do. It's amazing that you can touch so many more people than you realize by doing these little things.
Mm-hmm. That's so true.
They're big things to someone else. To me, it wasn't a big deal to, give her an hour of my time, but to her, she's told me, because we stay in contact, she's told me repeatedly, "You've changed my life. I never would have thought to even consider doing these things." And after feeling so inspired, I do them. So that felt really good. Yeah. I'll never forget her.
Absolutely. Okay, so you have charities, you have makeup lines, and God willing, a skincare line. You are a celebrity stylist. Like, you have a segment on the news on NBC. What are your goals? Like, what else is there that you want to accomplish?
Well, I would like to, get funded for my company.
Get her funded, people.
Get my ass funded. Thank you. Yes.
You're welcome.
And I think also, doing this new show that I'm going to host by myself, it's kind of scary to me. Okay. It's, learning to be in front of the camera, like doing this has really helped, doing the podcast, but doing live TV is terrifying. I don't know if you've ever done it.
A little bit.
But it's scary. And so just, I'm open to whatever the universe provides or plops in front of my face. I try to say yes to all the things and things that make me really uncomfortable. I'm learning to my boyfriend taught me this, to get comfortable being uncomfortable. He tells me all the time. In fact, we had this conversation last night. Because, I'm the one, because I used to give my TV husband, Berlin on NBC, I used to give him the credit for saying, get comfortable being uncomfortable. But actually, it was my boyfriend who said, "Hey, get comfortable being uncomfortable and see what happens." So I thank him for that.
Absolutely. I mean, you're in Alaska. I'm in
Seriously,
Alaska. Girl. Seriously, girl. Okay.
What we do for love, right?
Absolutely. Okay, so our time is quickly coming to an end, but what is one question that I did not ask that you wish I would have? And what would you have said?
Gosh, you've asked all these questions. Let me think. Do I love my life?
Do you love your life? Girl, what is the answer?
Yes, I do. I do love my life. Yeah. I'm really grateful for everything, the good, bad, and the ugly. Because all the good, bad, and the bad and the ugly, it makes the good shine so much brighter. And, I find that failures, I used to I don't believe in failure any longer. I think they're lessons. I think they're bumps. And I think it's sometimes the universe wanting you to make a left instead of a right. So when these bumps occur, I just go, okay, that just means I need to go in a different direction. And I don't judge everything. I don't judge myself. I don't judge my past. I don't judge my decisions. I just try to do the best that I can do and make a healthy, wise decision. And then just know that if it needs to change, I change it, and I don't beat the crap out of myself. I used to have a terrible habit of beating the hell out of myself and just saying, "Oh, you're so stupid, you're fat, you're dumb, you're ugly, I would obliterate myself. I didn't get enough done. I'm the worst mother. I'm the worst blah." And then my girlfriend Diana had said, "Do you hear yourself? You would never treat another human on the planet the way you beat the shit out of yourself." So that's one habit that I have omitted from my life. I'm not judging myself like I used to. And that has made life so much easier. I'm being kind to myself
Yeah.
That's something we have to learn, because I think that's a skill that we all could, improve upon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
for
worry about
us.
what people think anymore. You know what I mean?
No.
I'm not
Yeah.
worried. I don't care what, I would like people to like me and my decisions, but it's really not my business, someone else's opinion. I'm not going to make decisions in my life based upon what everyone else thinks I should do or should not do.
Mm-hmm.
I have to live with my decisions and live with, the path I've taken. So
Yeah.
I have taken, and that's another thing's made life so much easier. I don't sit and worry about everyone else's opinion about me. It's seriously, I don't care.
I love it. I love it. Don't you feel so free?
It does. And it also just gives you a confidence, like, like, I don't care.
Yeah.
And it's such a waste of energy. I think worrying is a waste of energy about, things that might possibly could happen that never happen, and worrying about other people's opinions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Amen. I love that. I love that. That is like ultimate self-care right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Christina, for being on the show.
Oh, you're a doll. Thank you. This was a great interview, and I loved your questions. They were very thought-provoking and just not the normal ones. I usually get, what's your favorite product, and, who's your favorite celebrity? And, that's typically, so this was really interesting to
thank you.
Make me actually have to think a little more than just push the button. Sometimes I do these interviews and I just like push the play button and just repeat what I usually do. But this one was it was different. So bravo to you. You're a really good interviewer. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Well,
you put a lot of effort into this.
Yes. I mean, as artists, we're always dealing with the pretty, right?
Totally.
And we get hooked on the pretty. So this podcast, the goal is to like, okay, wait, let's look at some of the ugly, because the ugly is what makes the pretty.
Exactly. And then another thing, I think a lot of people will see, what they see of my life, in social media. That's what I'm putting out there for you to see. I don't put out my personal life. I don't put out my person. He would have a heart attack if I had him post. No one even knows he exists. But I have to respect that. He's a private person, and my public life is very different than our private life. People think that I'm out and about doing all these things. I'm actually a total nerd. I love to read my book. I like to cook. I like to be home and have quiet. I love watching, NBA. I'm kind of a dude that way. I like to work out. So, people don't really know. They don't see the real me. They just see what they think. And what they think is so far off from the reality.
Mm-hmm. That's so true.
So I think people need to know that about social media. It's what you're seeing. You're not seeing,
it's illusion.
Everything.
It's illusion, for sure.
It is. It's all an illusion.
Oh my goodness. Thank you again. And we're going to get you some funding, girl. This episode is going to get you some funding. So if you're listening, talk to her. Reach out to Christina. All right. Thank you so much. And until next time.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
If you got anything from this episode, I hope it's that there's a lot of fab ways to get in touch with your dreams and make them a living reality for yourself, just like Christina has. This woman has seen it all, been through it all, and has not let any of it get her down. And of course, go check out her products and fund this woman, for crying out loud. I hope you loved this episode, and I can't wait to see everything Christina does. Until next time.
If you loved this episode, subscribe to the BeautyPro podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts so you never miss an episode. Don't forget to leave your reviews, stars, feedback so I can continue bring the content you deserve and want most. Your feedback fuels this podcast. The more you give, the more you get back. You can follow me at The BeautyPro Coach on Instagram and Facebook. Want to contact me directly? Email me at befree@goldentruthcoaching.com.